Alrighty, today we're doing a pick a card, pick a stack with a message from your inner teen. Noticing a shift collectively within myself, but I'm also noticing a lot of other people talk about the inner teen that is starting to surface. There's been a lot of people working on inner child healing, and as we progress through, the ages, we do reach a point where we're looking at more of the teen years of stuff that we are trying to work through. So, and a lot of that has come through as teen rage. So we're going to take a look and see if we can get a message from our inner teens. What you need to know right now from your inner teen, what your inner teen wants you to know, whether that may be about the trauma they've experienced, what they want you to do now. We're just going to leave it open for whether or not it's suggestions or maybe something that you've kind of hidden from yourself. So I'm using the Tarot of Oppositions, which is like a reverse and upright image on the front of each card, and then as well as an oracle card from the Divine Energy Oracle deck. All right, there's timestamps in the first comment. If you want to skip the shuffling and go right to seeing them laid out, we are doing 3 stacks. All the timestamps are going to be in the first comment, pinned comment. And let's be honest, sometimes only comment. All right. Message from the inner teen. And I will get these nice and neat so you can pause and focus if you would like. Listen to the sounds of my air conditioner. Okay, so this is going to be stack number 1, stack number 2, and stack number 3. Feel free to pause, take a deep breath. Okay, so we're going to go into stack number 1. Let's put these over here. All right, our message, if you chose stack number 1, we have the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Swords, and the 5 of Wands. Okay, so we can see here what I meant by there's like an upright and reverse meaning. There's like a light and a dark meaning to it. So it's not necessarily going to indicate a reverse meaning, but it's showing the dark and light aspects, which I feel like this deck is great for. Shadow work, dream interpretation. I've done a reading for dream interpretation, and this is very spot on for that. So as we can see here, message from the inner child, we have the Ace of Wands. We have the bright or the light side at the top, which I feel like is going to be what's on the surface, and I'm getting what's on the bottom half of the card will be what's below the surface. So it could be that there is an opportunity that is on the surface. So the aces are beginnings. It's something new, something passionate here. But beneath the surface, it's kind of, I'm almost getting a fear here. Like, I know this may be intended to be branches, but I'm getting like a crack. Like there's a crack where maybe there's feeling like you're going to fall through something is kind of what I'm getting here. 8 of Swords generally, traditionally talks about kind of imprisoning your own mind here. And it appears to me like this overall has a darker vibe, but it looks like the lighter aspect is on the surface for you. So I'm kind of feeling like this is like maybe it's a not, what's the word, not obvious, conscious. It's like a conscious choice here to keep something hidden. So I feel like there is an awareness of what is going on underneath that you are purposely, not purposely is a strong word, but willfully, I guess, turning a blind eye to. There's a lack of sight with this card. And then we have the Five of Wands, which is conflict, and we have the darker aspect of the card on the surface. So I feel like there's your inner teen is telling you that like maybe you are causing conflicts to avoid dealing with something mentally going on. And I feel like it's in regards to starting something that you want to start. There's a fear about starting something, and your inner teen wants you to know that, you know, you can't hide it from yourself forever is kind of what I'm getting here. I'm getting a push to explore whatever creative opportunity is in your experience currently or upcoming, or potentially something that you passed on due to fear. But I feel like this is your inner teen saying, you've been hanging on to this for so long, and you're okay with fighting it. You're fighting your own experience. You're fighting your own awareness of a negative experience that you are shielding yourself from. I feel like there may be some conflict that you're involved in that is specifically you trying to not deal with whatever mental, it could be a stressor that's in your life that you don't want to deal with, that you're kind of purposely like almost like conflict as a distraction, right? If that makes sense. But underneath the conflict itself can be a resolution, if that makes sense. You can not focus on the conflict, but use the conflict to your advantage in order to heal this. The conflict, what was that? Can be a resolution. Something moved. I am home by myself. Okay, so anyways, so that's kind of the overall message that I'm getting here, is that your inner teen wants you to know that you're using conflict to hide from yourself, to bury your emotions, to not even your emotions, but your thoughts. There's potentially a memory that you're avoiding dealing with, but you can use the conflict that you're currently engaging in as a tool. You just have to change the way you fight, if that makes sense. But whatever this opportunity, I feel like this is an opportunity for growth, has been either passed on or is upcoming for you, that there is a fear surrounding. And I feel like that's kind of the key to figuring out how to use your conflict in order to heal this memory or trauma or whatever it is that you're burying in the deep recesses of your mind. All right, let's get our oracle card. Accept what is dying. Okay, so that's, I feel like, a pretty clear message here. What is dying for me in this reading feels like this thought process here, this this thing that you're trying to keep caged. Accept what is dying. The cage can be the death, you know, like the cage can be what is dying here, so that you can unlock your potential for growth here. So accept what is dying. That memory does not need to live with you anymore. You can heal that and move on. But I do feel like your inner teen is telling you, whatever this thing is that you have experienced, that you are avoiding or using conflict to kind of distract yourself from. You don't need to do that anymore. You can accept that that part of you is gone. And I feel like that will help your inner child heal. It's like they know that what they are going through, you know, in their time, what you went through is the same. For to clarify that, I guess, that can die. You can let go of that now, and it's like they're trying to tell you that they know that it's temporary, but you have kept hanging on to this for so long, and that it is okay for you to accept that that is not your situation anymore, and that you can move on and grow from this. So that is what I have for the first stack. We will move on to the second stack of cards. We have 4 cards in this one. We have the World, the 9 of Cups, Judgment, and the 7 of Swords. Okay. Let's see. What is our inner teen trying to... So it looks like we have the lighter aspects kind of zigzagging here. So there is some things underneath that I feel like you can... I mean, everyone can heal from it, but I feel like there may be... There's 2 major arcana cards in here. There may already be some work happening on your inner teen. So if you've already started this process, know that they recognize that. First of all, your inner teen is recognizing that you have begun the work. 2 major arcana cards here, both of them with the lighter aspect. So I don't know if I mentioned it before I started the reading or if it was within the first stack. But this deck has like a lighter and a darker aspect on each card. It's not necessarily the reverse meaning of the card. It's just that there is light and dark to everything. With it being what is on the top half is going to be for me during these readings, what's more on the surface, something that you're more aware of. And then the bottom half is going to be what is something that you are either not acknowledging or you are unaware of. Okay. So let's start with the first card, the World card. We have the lighter aspect on top here. Noticing that she is facing us on the top and she is away from us on the bottom. Also, the bareness is really about not your physical attributions, but like I'm getting like a bearing your soul. I feel like you're a very open with your inner teen, or that your inner teen is very open with you, trying to show you things. It's like I'm getting like, you see me, kind of like a statement of you see me. So where I said earlier that you may already be working on your inner child, I feel like that is their acknowledgement, that they know that they're being seen here. Beneath the surface, I feel like you're like running away from it. You're working on it, but it may not be the easiest thing in the world here. We have the 9 of Cups as well, with the darker aspect on the surface. So the 9 of Cups talking about satisfaction and being satisfied and satiated and there's another word that I'm trying to pull, one that's better than satisfied, but satisfied, fulfilled. It's a fulfillment. We have you're fulfilling a darker emotional need here. Not dark in a bad sense, but in a sense of things that were... that your perception of them could be darker, but they're still satisfying nonetheless. This could be about addiction as well. There is, liquor or poison bottles, however you want to take that. I don't feel like they're labeled. You can't see what they are exactly, but it also looks like, a bar. That could be a bar situation. So I feel like there can be an awareness of addiction, an awareness of overindulgence. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm getting an awareness of some overindulgence here as well. Now, whether that was you in your teen years, could be them acknowledging that as a teen you went through some sort of overindulgence. All right, so that could be something that they're wanting you to look at. I'm getting like a thank you for seeing me, but there's more that you're not seeing. You're aware of overindulgence potentially as a teen. Underneath, that you're a good person and that you have healthy attachments. But I feel like there's a little bit of not an emotional disconnect, but a twisted connection emotionally to substance in some way. Now, that doesn't have to be alcohol or hard drugs or anything like that. That could be anything that you numb yourself, self-medicate. Those are the phrases that are popping in. Anything that you use that, social media can be like that as well. So it could be anything that you're, and this is something that you're already aware of. So it's not something you need to, dig deep into your psyche for or anything like that. But you're aware of that, but there is a healthy way to connect with whatever that possible substance is. Over here to the Judgment card, we have the lighter aspect. This is being called to something greater. This is a rebirth. We have a fetus, it looks like here. Like it's almost as if it's being birthed from the trumpet of the angel here in the Judgment card. That is on the surface. So I feel like it's you have acknowledged that you are on a new path, that you are doing something better than you used to, or that a higher calling that you have heard, whether or not you've taken action on that. But beneath the surface, we have a little darker aspect of it. Dark, again, not meaning bad, but more of the not wanting to look at it side. That you do have to, there's like a yin and yang, a balance going on in this card here. There is a way to balance your new path, your higher self path, okay, what is that? I'm getting like a higher self connection. There is a balanced way to incorporate your new path with some of the things that you've experienced. So perhaps your inner teen is trying to tell you, look, you can harness this rage. This is a fiery skull here. This to me symbolizes, hard metal music or something along those lines. Something that maybe influences of others have had you push down. For an example, the personal experience that is being brought forth for my awareness, and it is only because I did make a comment about this in a Facebook group recently. My mom used to call the music that I listened to devil music. Don't listen to that devil music in my house. So if there's something along those lines, there's somebody suppressing something in you that because they tell you that it's evil, they tell you their perspective of it is negative, and so you have pushed it down. I feel like your inner teen is telling you you can incorporate that into your new path. Your higher self wants you to balance those things that you were told were bad, or you were told that made you a bad person or evil or something like that. Those are part of the whole. There is good within the bad. There is bad within the good. There is a balance that can be had here. And I feel like your teen is your inner teen is screaming that at you. Like, you don't have to give up these things to be on a higher path. You don't have to give up these things. You don't have to suppress this because they're not going to go away. They're going to be there. It's all about incorporating and like with shadow work, it's all about like incorporating those things that you think or assume or have been taught or programmed are not good, that make you a bad person. It's incorporating those into your life and shining light on them and seeing, hey, this isn't bad. They thought it was bad, but that doesn't mean that it is. And I don't have to be a bad person for liking something that may be considered by somebody of authority in my teen years as bad. You can incorporate that in there. That doesn't have to leave your experience in order to take a higher path or a healthier path. Okay, Seven of Swords here talks about deceit, and the swords being air quality about your mind and your thinking and your knowledge and education and learning and all of that. I feel like there may have been, you feel, this is surface on the top here, you feel like your thoughts are bad. Like maybe somebody told you you can't think that way, that's not a good way to think, or that's not a good subject to learn, or like you were going to school and they try to dictate what you learned about. I feel like you may feel like you didn't have a say in your education in any way or in some way. But again, beneath the surface here, you can reclaim that. This is a reclaiming of your knowledge and your education. So overall, and I'm getting long-winded on this particular one, there are more cards. Overall, I feel like your inner teen is saying, thank you for seeing me. Thank you for working with me. And, we are going to balance this together. I feel like this is your inner teen saying, this is teamwork. We're going to do this together. Almost like, a lot of inner teen work is supposed to be geared toward you kind of reparenting the teen, or not necessarily reparenting, but that is part of it. Or you consoling them, or protecting them in some way. But I feel like your inner teen is kind of wise. Your inner teen is saying, look, we've got this together. They're almost like they're encouraging you, they're nurturing you. They're saying, like, you've started on a journey to a higher way of living, a higher being. And again, with that higher, I'm getting pulled to this here as well. So whatever potential substance numbing, self-medicating type of situation, they're saying, I'm getting like a moderation kind of aspect here. Now, your situation. If you are in recovery and this does not resonate, then I don't expect you to finish watching this. But I feel like your inner teen is saying, look, we can moderation here. I'm getting a lot of moderation from your inner teen. That maybe that was their goal and it got out of control at that time. But now maybe you're putting moderation boundaries in place. Okay. But they're saying, we can learn this together. You can, oh, okay. Okay, so an activity. I'm kind of getting an activity here. If there was something as a subject that you were told or encouraged to stay away from, I feel like your inner teen is saying, we need to learn about that. Whatever that was when you were a teenager that you were, okay, so you used to go to the library and get witchcraft books and hide it from your parents because you knew that they wouldn't, that kind of situation, get into that. Or if you wanted to be a mortician and they thought that's gross, that's dark, who wants to deal with that? That's their own fear of death influencing you. And I feel like your inner teen is saying, explore the thing that you wanted to learn, or information that you were trying to seek. If you were trying to do genealogy and people were discouraging you, it seems like maybe they were hiding something. Explore whatever that is. I've given a couple of different examples of what, just to give you an idea or an impression of what your inner teen is trying to show here. And that is, we can incorporate that into this balanced situation, this moderation type of energy. So that's what I'm getting from the tarot. Let's get our reflect on your truth. Again, truth with the knowledge here. I feel like if there was some type of truth that you were trying to explore, or something that you wanted to know about, I feel like that is your truth. And whatever you see as your truth is worth exploring here. So yeah, reflect on your truth. So I'm getting a lot of other people kind of influencing you and trying to numb yourself from another influence. And reflecting on your truth, I feel like would be a good start to uncovering whatever knowledge you were seeking that you stopped seeking, and that your truth will help you on this balanced path. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for watching, if that is where you end. All right. Stack number 3. We have the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, and the Three of Pentacles. Interesting. Okay. And for these cards, it looks like the lighter aspect is at the top. If you didn't watch the other stacks, or if I didn't mention it before I started doing the actual readings, the top of these cards is going to represent for me as a reader what is on the surface, something that you know or are aware of. And then the things that are on the bottom are things that you either are not aware of or you are not purposely, consciously avoiding. So it looks like the lighter aspects of things are the things that are on the surface, that you are aware of. So Two of Cups, partnership. We also have the Three of Cups. So it's a sequence. There's only 2, so I'm not going to get too hung up on the pattern recognition aspect that would. But we also have another 3 here, so I feel like it's like almost like a stall out. The Two of Cups being partnering, emotional partnering. This doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. This could be you and you, joining aspects of yourself. So this could be you already working on the inner teen stuff. The Three of Cups is celebration. So I feel like you're on a good path here for self-discovery is the word that pops in my head. But not only that, I'm getting the emotional connection to yourself. So it's possible that you are already working on inner teen stuff. I am not honestly getting a whole lot of rage on this one. A lot of people talk about their inner teen as being very rageful. So perhaps if you chose this stack, you didn't experience such harsh traumas necessarily, but maybe more subtle, long-lasting, lingering type of issues that you are trying to work through. And then we have the Three of Pentacles again, coming together as a team, working on it. So I'm kind of getting the impression here that maybe your spirit team or your guides, angels, higher self, whatever you want to call that aspect of yourself, is already trying to connect with you on this. I feel like maybe you're getting some signs that this work needs to be done. I kind of am feeling like maybe your teen years were maybe a little more smooth than others, not to invalidate any traumatic experiences. Just an overall, you dealt with it in a more healthy way than most people, I guess, would have for being a teenager. So for like the hidden aspects here, or I feel like it's you trying to break away from a group of some sort. So it could be your family, it could be a friend group that you had a falling out with in like high school or college. I feel like underneath, either you are unaware of a separation or are avoiding dealing with some emotions surrounding a separation, but it could be family, friend group. It could be a romantic interest, but I feel like it's more than one person. I feel like that's where a lot of the inner child work, or not inner child, we're talking about the inner teen. The inner teen work is going to come from social situations that need some attention from you, and almost kind of like rebalancing them into your current situation. I feel like currently you may have a pretty decent friend group. I don't see this I mean, they're both alone on the top here. But I don't see you necessarily as being alone. And when you are alone, I feel like it's not a bad thing. You don't feel lonely. You may have a small group, but I don't feel like you're lonely. But maybe the possibility that I'm getting is that you keep that small friend group because of whatever happened in the teen years that kind of I feel like it soured you. The word sour came up. That's not a word I would normally use, but like maybe jaded would be more of a word that I would use. But the word soured seems important. Something was soured for you as far as large friend groups. Like there was potentially a falling out of a friend group during your teen years that has affected you. But I feel like it's affected you in a way where you keep a close-knit group. You do have a group around you that I feel like is significant to you. But I feel like you don't, when you're alone, you don't mind it. You put it to good use. I'm getting like when you're alone, there's some self-care or potentially some kind of creative work that you're doing. Not necessarily a side hustle or a job, but there is something that you like to do with your hands. When you're alone, when you have alone time, and that you're not, I feel like, suffering when you're alone. Um, but I feel like your inner teen wants you to um I'm kind of getting like branch out more as far as the friends go, and that maybe some of the healing should be focused on some type of social interaction that took place during your teen years. All right, let's get our oracle card. Accept disappointments gracefully. So again, I feel like the disappointment of a friend group kind of dissipating, or maybe y'all went your separate ways, whatever, that there's a graceful way. And I feel like you've done that, accept disappointments gracefully. There are some disappointments that have happened, and that going forward, if you expand your friend group, there may be some disappointments, but it's okay for you to just say, hey, you know, you win some, you lose some. That relationship, that friendship, that interaction or connection, was meant to be temporary, and accepting that and moving on from it. But so that's what I'm getting from your inner teen. Thank you so much for watching. If this is something you're interested in, I do it occasionally, but we also do witchy unboxing videos, and I talk about magic and metaphysical stuff, crystals a lot, and manifestation more recently. So if that's your thing, make sure you hit subscribe. And thank you again for sticking through this whole video. I want to thank you all. If you're still here, don't forget to hit subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Always remember that the magic you seek is within you. Have a blessed day.